Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. And am I live? Yeah, thank you very much for coming. And today I'll be honored to be your presenter. And I'll be speaking about how Odoo is helping microfinances in Africa. And I'm quite excited and very passionate about some of the capabilities of Odoo and what it's able to do. And not only just what it's able to do, but how fast it is to actually spin up solutions for some of these verticals. So for purposes of, in case you want to ask any questions, you could just scan this QR code and I'll be able to see those questions and do the Q&A at the end of my presentation. So maybe I'll just give that a minute for you to scan, and hopefully you are done. Yeah. So here's a brief agenda of what I'll be talking about. I'll just give a brief introduction of myself and the company that I come from. Then I'll talk about really the nitty-gritties around microfinances in Africa. Then the challenges, of course. Then why Odoo, and why Odoo is the perfect solution for the microfinances. And then the key features of the solution that we've been able to build in Odoo. Then I'll give a demo and, of course, answer any questions that may arise. So my name is Christian Musinguzi, and I represent a company called TechThings Limited. We are based in Uganda. That's a country in Africa. And we specialize basically in ERP solutions. We also do a bit of voice solutions, but more predominantly Odoo-related solutions. We work with a series of verticals: government, microfinances, legal, real estate, insurance, and to mention but a few. You can contact me through those contacts. So microfinances in Africa. So I just really want to, first of all, talk about the general landscape of what East Africa's banking penetration looks like, or basically facilities that help the population or the citizens have a proper structured financial, whether it's a saving and of course funding. So East Africa generally has a population of about 440 million or so, give or take. East Africa, of course, is comprised of a series of countries. Among them is Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi. We have as well as South Sudan. So it's quite a big big geographical area, and of course different people, but we all have very, very similar challenges. We have very similar, similar cultures, and of course we have very similar problems as well. And from that graph you can see that generally speaking, the traditional banking, and that means a proper bank, that is recognized by the government, is the based on the population, it's only about 16.8% that are actually banking with a proper bank. About 31.2% is in digital banking. What this digital banking is, what that means, is mobile money. That's pretty much, there's a special kind of technology that can work on a phone, where somebody can save money on the phone, and they use the telecommunication service providers to actually help with the transactional flow. But still, that is a bit very informal, and even the sign-up process is not as complicated as actually signing up with a traditional bank. Then the unbanked are about 52%. So in a nutshell, that's about 83% of the informal sector not really participating in proper banking facilities. And that's where now microfinances and even savings schemes really come in to try and close that gap. Given, of course, the literacy penetration, given the communication and even the facilities and the technology, the banking sector and the informal sector is a bit large, and that's why we have such kinds of statistics. But then the microfinances then come in to try and close that gap. So, in as much as the microfinances are actually, the best go-to facilities or organizations to help the unbanked, they still face a series of challenges. Number one is that they have really very many manual processes. They have scattered record keeping, they have inefficient reporting systems, and I'm not saying that there aren't softwares or tools out there that the unbanked can use. The only challenge is that a lot of these tools are a bit poorly built, and they have really, really very poor accounting. And that is a very big problem, because accountability or proper record keeping is, they'll be prone to errors and making generally the whole management of their portfolio or their members very difficult. In these microfinances and savings schemes, we usually have very small organizations that can't afford the mainstream core banking solutions like Finaco or the traditional ones, because they are very, very expensive and they don't have the money, of course, to afford that. So it's really, really, really a big challenge for them, and that's why we think Odoo is a very good solution. So why Odoo? Why do you think Odoo is the go-to platform? Number one, it's because Odoo is very, very affordable. And I mean, if you actually go on the Odoo website, you realize that what it takes actually to get the solution and the full pack of the solution is, pennies are against the dollar. The other thing, Odoo has very, very comprehensive data management. It has a very advanced accounting tool, and we have worked with some of these microfinances, and a lot of them have actually mentioned some of the accountants. These are well-learned people, but of course with poor tools. And if I have a poor tool, you know what that means. I won't be efficient in my work. So some of the feedback we have actually received is that Odoo has a very, very comprehensive accounting tool, and that actually eases the whole the whole journey of them trying to digitalize their system. Then, of course, user-friendly interface. It's quite scalable, and of course, last but not least, it's very, very easy to customize. It's scalable and flexible. So some of the features of our solution, and again engaging a series of them, it has been more of like an agile way of working with them. Of course, we are not professionals in our business. We are very good at Odoo. As you saw, we are partners, but we are not necessarily professionals in that sector. So we've had to work with the actual players in that field, so that we actually get very good feedback, and then we can implement the solution in Odoo. So of course we recommended Odoo, and some of the features that actually come out of that we're able to deliver was there's now better applicant management or applicant profiling or member management. So some of them, again, as I mentioned, are really just small communities that come together to save money together, and of course lend each other and things like that. Others are a bit regulated, but still small entities that have a bit of some funding or have a bit of some money that they can actually use to lend or members to borrow. So There is a lot better profiling of these guys, of the applicants or the members. Then, of course, there's the whole self-service. You know, Odoo comes now with a portal interface that comes really out of box. We don't have to rebuild some of these things. So there's a lot of self-service. And again, these members, you know, can just work with a simple smartphone or even move to the nearest booth that they can use, or internet cafe that they can use to do their informal banking. There's of course a proper applied accounting. This is not something that is just built at the back, you know, in a garage. It's real standard, you know, conventional accounting standards, and that's why you know, Odoo again is the go-to product. There is better loan product management. There are also automated tracking. The system just automatically can, you know, automatically can do things like reminders, you know, tracking schedules, and we don't have to do so much again to deliver such a product. And of course, then there is for some of the smaller players, there is also an easy payment integration for, you know, small things like mobile money, even Visa. We have managed to do some of those integrations with some of the players within the region. So I'm going to do a simple live demo. It's not very comprehensive, but again, it's going to give you an idea of what some of the microfinances in our region and the ones that we're working with are actually able to do in Odoo. And again, let me just mention this. A lot of these things come out of box, and the abstraction that we've had to add on top of Odoo is a bit minimal. Actually, it's quite minimal. We just had to build a flow process that can help in that operation. The operational flow may be onboarding an applicant, you know, profiling the applicant, and then everything that needs to the whole heavy lifting of the actual accounting is actually just handed over to Odoo when that is needed, and you're probably going to see that in play. All right, so this is a typical Odoo interface, and some of them can actually go ahead and afford Odoo Enterprise. So this is actually Odoo Enterprise version 17. Of course, we're looking forward to migrating this to version 18. We have versions right from 14, 15, 16, and now 17. So you're going to see that the typical modules of Odoo are, of course, the discuss, the dashboard, the accounting. There's website, there's purchases, and all these are small things to help in the other, you know, operational needs. But then the additional abstract layer is the loans management, savings or deposits management, and then my account. My account is in case a member has a bit of a back office interface, they could just only see that icon, my account, which can give them a bit of an appreciation of how they stand. But this can also be seen, of course, on the portal. So you're going to see that within the savings or deposits, I can manage my portfolio for all the members. In this case, this is pretty much maybe like a simple savings group, and they can have their members in, and within the profile of the members, they have all these small buttons that quickly help to register saving, to help with also, you know, they could be having things like subscription fees, and there, of course, we apply the Odoo subscription. Then, you know, registering other fees. Sometimes they have other functional fees like, you know, applications and all that stuff. And then they also penalties in case, you know, they want to enforce, they want to enforce maybe some sort of policy. Then they can take on, the system can actually automatically track the penalties and be able to track them and manage them. I'll just quickly show you so how all this works is there are automated jobs actually running in the background. Once I set up, I'll just go back one step behind. Once I set up someone's profile, the system automatically has some sort of setting that automatically knows what the saving product someone is operating under, the subscription that someone's operating under, if there are any penalties, when the next saving needs to happen, if there's anything outstanding, when the next saving date is, and all things like and the like. So the automated jobs then just begin to generate these kinds of records. These records are very much linked to accounting because they generate an accounting record once the record is posted. And of course, within the accounting, then Odoo begins to now take over. Now, actually what happens is there's a lot of control accounting in here, because once I generate what we call a savings notice, a savings notice within Odoo will just apply the invoicing, and invoicing then just creates some sort of, applies a small control account. They are called advanced. In this case, the member actually made an advanced saving, so to just park the money there for some time. Once the payment actually comes through, then it can actually take it to an actual, to the actual savings account. In this particular case, again, it was an upfront saving. So what actually happened is there's a bit of amortization on, because in this particular case, the member is supposed to be saving probably about 500,000, but has saved a bit over. So the system will automatically do some sort of amortization of that. I'll just quickly also show us how the loans potentially work. So these loan applications actually automatically come into the system because the customer or the applicant is self-serving. So they have created an account directly through the website module, and within there, of course, they have now additional smart buttons or additional interfaces to send an application. The application will come into the back office, and within there, all the policies of what are the requirements of the loan are in the system. If there are any loan charges, they are still configured, and of course you can configure all the loan products. So when the loans requests come in, the loan administrator just evaluates the request, can begin to evaluate what the requirements that the applicant has submitted, and then they'll go through the approval flow. And at the end of the day, again, after we have added this operational flow, there's a series of accounting settings that kick in, and that's, of course, with loans and and credit, there's a lot of contra accounting that actually comes into play. So here I have a principal account, I have interim accounts, and what these are actually doing are just really trying to control the various stages that the loan is actually going through. So at the end of the day, once the loan is up, okay, in this particular case, the loan was cancelled. I'll just show us a loan that was actually, yes, dispersed. So our policies keep the loan in between. The policy that is running here is the loan limit is in between maybe 2 to 10 million. So that again is a guiding principle for all the loans that have been applied for. Here there are loan charges, who's paying for those loans. Then of course there's the whole loan schedule. The system automatically computes this. The client can get a loan schedule report. It's a printout which the client can go away with, and then the system now just automates. Once the loan is late, once it is paid, it will automatically flag that, and again the accounting is just taking over to control all of that. Even the state management is coming directly from the accounting module. I'll just quickly show that to you. As you can see, this loan came in, and then we're able to know the principal, the interim accounts come into play, and so on and so forth. Just because of time, I'm going to stop right there, but just also to let you know that actually all the reporting becomes a lot simpler for the loan managers, because once they run their balance sheet can make a lot of sense. They can begin to see what is going on. These receivables are just loan notices that the client has to pay, and so on and so forth. I'll stop right there just to afford us a bit of some time to ask questions, but we can always meet a bit later and I can actually give us a very detailed appreciation of the whole solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the talk. I will open the tab. So if you have any question, you can just ask directly.
If you have any questions, please scan the QR code and feel free to ask.
Do you hear me now? Yes? Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for the talk. So the first question is, can we get the slide afterwards?
Sure, I can share the slide. You'll probably come to me and I share that.
Do you have a stand here that can...
no, I don't have a stand.
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe after the talk you can stay.
Sure.
Okay. The next question is, I found that Odoo user interface can be challenging. Lots of filters, custom rules. We often struggle to onboard our employees when adding features. Do you have any tips?
One of the things, yes, you're right. Odoo's interface sometimes can be a bit challenging, but the only reason is because it's very, very comprehensive. If you actually get a hang of the navigation, especially if you're especially if you're an integrator or an implementer, the best way is to give the client as much information as needed. There's something I didn't show you, but let me see if I can quickly just spin it up. So for the applicants, they just see a very simple interface like this. You know, they put in the applications, and that's just enough information for them to actually do their job. You don't have to give them the abstract layer of, the accounting module and all these other things. So you just give enough information and you can build these views quite easily.
Thank you. For the next question, are the loans and savings deposits modules standard in V18 apps or custom?
So of course, what was showcased at the keynote speech was loan management, but more for the company, your company having borrowed from a bank. So it's pretty much loan management, not you as a business doing, loaning. So I know there was a question that was asked by one of the members, but probably the speaker may not have digested it very well. But if you're a business that is actually doing loans, then that's not the actual module. It's probably something like this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is, do you sell this system? Is it available?
Yes, so as I mentioned, we were actually approached by some of the players in this, and it's pretty much a product that we actually worked with them quite closely, but we're really in the works of trying to open source it, put it on the App Store. But yes, of course, you can approach us to support you in giving you a solution.
Okay, thank you. For the next question, did you integrate the mobile money payment in your accounting, or do you have record to manual?
Yes. So the current integration we've done is a PesaPal integration that actually goes directly through the mobile money, and that's MTN, Airtel. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Can we automate the approval flow on the loan request?
Repeat that.
Yes. Can we automate the approval flow of the loan request?
The Apple?
Approval.
The approval flow.
Yes.
Yes. I love what Odoo 18, and we're actually, me and my team were talking the other day, we're actually quite excited about some of the features that Odoo 18 has brought up. So I feel a lot of these things are actually going to be simplified, refactored. You know, the code base is going to reduce quite a lot. And yes, definitely the approval flow is going to be a lot easier.
Thank you.
Yeah. Highly
Next.
configurable. Yeah.
Next question, where can the clients have access to their deposit account on your website?
So again, this is a demonstration, but gives you an idea. So in this case, Carol, whom you were seeing in the back office earlier on, is now actually seeing her account. She can see whatever savings she has. She can see whatever loans applications she has. Of course, she can actually even see a detail of a bit of some accounting, you know, and at this point, this is where we can actually do the integration with the actual online payments. So pay now and all those things. So, and all this again is coming out of box. The abstract layer we're adding is just pretty much feeding into this.
Okay, thank you so much for the talk.
Okay.
Enjoy the Odoo experience.
Thank you.